This is our last attempt on ensuring that we have the live as we had promised. So earlier on, I spoke about a lady that I'm hosting tonight, and it gives me such a great pleasure to have known her, just from social media and interactions I've known her. So today is actually a big day for me and the live sessions because I'm finally meeting her and in person. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to have Lerato Monyatsi join us on the live to share to us about her life-changing experience. And we try to look at her story through the lens of that docuseries on Netflix called From Scratch. I don't know about you guys. Me, I cried. That day when I watched that Netflix docuseries, I think I spent 2 days watching that show and just I found myself crying at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, hey, but tomorrow, but at the same time, I'm like, this is important. I need to go through this. It gave me such a moment for cleansing emotionally, And so, but at the back of my head, I always had Lerato because I once saw that she summited Kilimanjaro to raise awareness about this particular condition that she lives with. And so it gives me, once again, I don't know, I'm not even sure if this is going to do justice to the the impact that she continues to spread, the message of hope that she spreads through her SkirtGirl Hiker Foundation. I'm just a bit worried that she seems to be having challenges with joining us, but please intervene for us because honestly, at this point, we did whatever we could to ensure that we have a successful one. And this is the first live interview, guys, for the year. So let us, let us see. Let me try to bring her in manually. Yes. Look who's here. Look who's here.
Oh my goodness. There we go. Yay! I finally did it.
Oh yes, we did it.
Oh my
Thank you so much.
I had to join with the phone because I was hoping to join with the laptop, but it's fine. It's not a problem.
Oh my God, I forgot to mention that we need to do it over the phone because the laptops usually give a lot of admin. Lerato, we have under 30 minutes and okay, we've spent 5 minutes. 5 minutes is not that bad. So let's go straight into the issue of the day, which is getting to know you, but more importantly, to reflect on your journey thus far. And to also, I guess, in a sense, we are raising awareness about your condition and also for people to hear about what you're doing through your foundation.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
If you could just start and tell us about yourself, who you are.
Sure. That feels like a definite interview. Yeah, you can go.
Can I please just take out my lip stuff because I can see I have like a. So yeah, but you can go ahead.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Well, geez, what can I say? I think I want to start by saying that I'm quite multifaceted. So, interestingly, I'm Lerato Monyatsi, a mother to a 13-year-old boy who's turning 14 and he keeps reminding me. I'm just a girl who loves life, and I live on the promises that have been given to me by God. I am also known or termed myself the skirt girl hiker purely from the aspect of I hike with a skirt, right? I think in the past it was always taboo. When people saw me, they're like, and then this girl with a skirt in tongue, you know. But I kind of owned who I was, you know, my faith and why I was doing it, right? Because I think for me, I understood why I was doing it, and I loved it, right? And I wouldn't say the attraction that it brought, but it was interesting that people would stop me and say, and then why, you know, and having to explain that part. It was quite interesting. And then people just referred to me as the girl that hikes in the skirt. And that's how I kind of became Lerato, the SkirtGirl Hiker. Work-wise, yeah, you know, I work for a big bank, for one of the big banks, and I'm very passionate about skills development and education. And I suppose that's why I do what I do. That's another thing.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never imagined you in the corporate space. I've always just imagined you. I, like immediately when I saw how easy it was for you to just, you know, go through the foundation formation and all of that, I thought, nah, she's probably in the NGO sector. She's
Yeah. No. I do actually have a full-time job. So yes, I do.
All right, interesting. Other things we'll find time to discuss.
Of course.
You know, there's this docu-series that, and I shared this with you during the week. This docu-series, when I watched it, there's some scenes where I held back and I was like, wait a minute, I think I know someone who went through maybe part of this.
Yeah.
And it's called From Scratch on Netflix.
Yeah.
You watched it?
I watched it, and it was the most beautiful, most emotionally, you know, I wouldn't say a draining, but it was just full of emotion. It took you through a journey, and there was no episode that you actually didn't cry.
You didn't cry?
Oh, I cried a lot. No, I'm saying there was no episode that you watched and you didn't actually cry. So yeah.
Yes, you're right. Actually, there was a day, because I think I watched it for 3 days, over a period of 3. That's how intense it was. I was like,
Guilty.
like I need to take bite sizes to this thing, okay? And then now I lost my track of thought. But anyway, that's not important. Were there any triggers for you, and why were you triggered?
Yeah, look, I mean, if you look back at you know, the beautiful love story, that was such a I suppose, you know, it was beautiful. The place that they visited, that was beautiful. I think when it got to the cancer journey, that was a trigger for me. You know, you would know that I've gone through a cancer journey. In 2020, I was diagnosed with colorectal cancer, stage 3. And having to watch, you know, the guy go through that journey of chemotherapy, of radiation, and just that lady being by his side, you know, I think for me it was oh my goodness, I've gone through this journey. I know this journey. And yeah, there were moments where I genuinely cried for me having gone through that, and also having, you know, to see that other people actually what they experienced, especially those that were close to me, because remember it was COVID that time. So having to know that your family actually went through this, that was such a somber moment. But I was quite happy to know that I had the exact support that he's had. You know, very thankful to God that I've made it through. But sure, what a journey it's been. Look, it's not easy. You know, I may come out smiling on the other side. I may come out very positive, you know, and very encouraging. But having to go through that journey, I think it was one of the most traumatic, mostly because I've got a 13-year-old. And at the time, you would remember there was Chadwick Boseman from Wakanda. What do you call that movie again? And then there was Olani, exactly, Black Panther. And then there was Olani Gwala on the side, who had just passed on as well. So I was in the thick of that moment, and I thought, there's actually, if I look at the lifeline of these guys, so they were obviously diagnosed, you know, at stage 3 as well, colon cancer, exactly the same thing that I've gone through. And
Yeah.
they had literally 4 years to live. So there was a point in my life where I just couldn't stop crying. And I had said to my mom, look, I need to put down all the documentations, all my policies, just put everything in order, have a conversation with this little man, you know, tell him the realities of it all. And then I remember going to Cape Town just after my first chemo. I mean, it really rattled me. And I really thought I was going, right? And then I called his dad. He was living in Cape Town at the time. And I said, listen, let's have a conversation, you know. If I do pass, here's a young man, you know, that you will need to look after. Obviously, he's been, you know, he's been there, here and there. But here's a man here's a little boy that you'll be looking after like 24/7. And then I remember just, you know, flying to Cape Town just after my first chemo. And yeah, I mean, it, you know, just a matter of connection for them again, reconnection. It was amazing. We had a really great time. And that was around October 2020. Came January 2021, just after my second chemo, he passed away from COVID. So you can imagine, in my mind, I was just not having it. I'm going through chemo. I've got a little man who's just lost his dad. And I don't see myself surviving. So it was really traumatic, a traumatic experience. And sure, if there's anything that I can echo, that I can, you know, ask from anyone that could be here, that would be listening to this well after we've finished the conversation, is the cancer patient needs support. They need support, because that is what we hold on to. That is what gives us hope. You know,
Yes.
and I think looking at the movie, it was exactly that. That lady, you know, everything that she did, it was with hope. You know, things will get better, or this or that. But we hold on to the little hope, and that's exactly what I did. And I suppose, you know, having family pray for you, having the church pray for you, having friends and family just be there for you. No one could come, so it was quite traumatic in that experience as well. But the fact that you know that people are there for you, you know, kind of pulled me through. It really did pull me through. Yeah.
Oh man, the conversations that you had to go through. I mean, I can't imagine myself. You know,
Yeah.
I'm still unmarried, not having a child, and etc. But like, I do have nephews and nieces that from time to time, you know, you have to explain to them when a certain individual in the family has a chronic illness, or they just have. I can imagine how that went down for you, especially now having to explain that your dad. You see that whole conversation.
Yeah. And I mean, I was still going through chemo. He was on the other side. It was online learning. So, you know, even when I received that call, I couldn't really say to him. He was in class. I didn't want to disturb. So we sat with it for like 2 hours before I actually went on. I said, dude, this is what's happened, you know? And now, remember, it's like you trying to have this boy grow at a fast pace. He's young, you know, he's now having to look after me. You can imagine a boy's love for the mom. You would hear that a lot. This boy was just there for me, you know. As a result of the colon cancer that I had, I do now have a stoma bag, an ostomy bag, which is how I release body waste. And Shane, he would come to the party and he would say, you know, let me help you. Show me what I need to bring, so that I can help you, you know. And now having to hear that his dad has passed and he's going to have to now man up. And that's exactly what he does around the house. He looks around the house. He needs to lock the door, shake. But yeah, it's one of the things that we had to get through. And unfortunately for me, I had to say, look, we're going to have to fight this. We've done it on the mountains. We're going to have to fight and be there for this boy. So that's how I fought to, you know, thank God. That's how we fought to make sure that I'm here.
Lerato, thank God you are here. Okay. Yeah, COVID was intense. Your life story was just, you know, And I actually thank God for having had the opportunity to meet you, Lerato. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah, and I can't wait to meet you in person. But like, I'm so, so, so excited for that. I'm telling you. I'm so
Oh my God.
excited.
Just how do you explain your condition to a layman, in a layman's term? What is colorectal cancer, and what does being an ostomy? I know you've already touched on how
Yeah.
you you do the waist part.
Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah.
What's the correct word for that? But I mean, how you release yourself. But just
Yeah.
to explain to someone who might be asking themselves, okay, how
What?
is it? What is it? Yes.
Yeah, so cancer, colorectal cancer is cancer of the colon. It's a part of the colon and part of your rectum as well. So a whole chunk of so obviously I had cancer cells, but praise God they hadn't spread yet. So what I did is I went through a surgery to remove part of my colon as well as part of my rectum, to put it plainly. So I do not go to, I don't release myself as normal like other people. I actually have a bag on the side of my abdomen
Okay.
where I release my body waste. And I change it on a regular. Obviously, I mean, when I was told this, so you can actually get a reversal. So I think once you heal through the cancer and all that, they can reverse it. Unfortunately for me, because of the amount of colon that was taken and the amount of the rectum that was taken, I was advised that, look, this is unfortunately for you, it's for life. You're going to be to live like this for the rest of your life. So the doctor obviously gave me, a day or two to go kind of, understand exactly what is about to happen, and to bring myself towards myself and say, do I, want to continue with this cancer journey, or do I actually want to say, stuff you cancer and I'm going this way? And it was quite difficult to accept. I mean, with cancer, it was like, okay, we know cancer. We've seen people either pass away or they make it through cancer. So I really thought I will fight this one. The curveball for me was the ostomy bag, which I thought, it's not a known thing especially in the Black community. If you ask anyone, they will tell you it's a white man's illness. Né? And I felt, as I'm going through this journey myself, I'm going to educate myself, but I'm going
Yeah.
to be not as selfish. I'm going to actually gravitate, and I suppose that's how I learn. I learn by educating others. You will see with my hiking, I experience and I show others to say, you can go. There's a place like this, you can go. So that's generally how I am. If I write stories, I blog, I will take you through a journey. I write to take you through that journey. Yeah.
You and I,
So yeah,
you and I still need to do a hike
of
together. Continue.
course, yes. Please, we must. And so I took it as an opportunity to say, as I learn, I'm going to teach. You would remember Maya Angelou's famous quote, as you rise, lift, or lift as you rise, and then as you learn, teach. That's my motto in life. I live by that. So as I learned this thing that I have to live with, I try to, educate myself and take my family through a journey as well. But I thought, I'm going to have to go back to the hiking community. How do I deal with this now? How am I going to deal with this? And then I thought, Lerato, the quicker you accept this, actually, the better for you, because then you actually educate everyone. It's not going to be faux pas. I mean, everybody does number two, right? And I had to deal with that first, to say, girl, how do you talk to people with number two now? Like, we don't discuss such things. But I had to come to terms with that, to say the aim is to educate. And that's where, SkirtGirl Hiker Foundation was born. People know already the SkirtGirl Hiker, or I am already going by that name anyway. So I just wanted to link my purpose to this, to hike for enjoyment or whatever, but also hike to help others. because these bags don't come cheap, eh? You know, I had a discussion with you around, obviously I'm blessed to have medical aid. I thank the heavens for that. But I mean, on a monthly basis, my medical aid gets charged about 12 grand, just for a monthly supply, you know, so they don't come cheap. And then I obviously saw at government hospitals how people are struggling. They would use red plastic bags to make sure, and they tape it around themselves, you know, and I thought, no, man, I can't allow this. That song came back to my mind, the very famous song that I love so much by Beyonce, I Was Here. And I thought, that's not going to happen under my watch. You know, if I touch one person, that's more than enough. But I'm actually going to aim to walk the mile with so many more other people. So I've partnered with Cancer Association now. And on a monthly basis, we have a conversation around, you know, how many people are there. People still call me. You know, they contact me, Lerato, we heard about the foundation. Please, can you help us? You know, I'm struggling with bags. And I just connect with the supplier. Obviously, it's not money into the patient's hand, but it's money into the supplier, so the supplier can deliver the bags. Yeah, so there's a long journey that we still have to walk, especially in the hospitals. And I'm also with another foundation called South African Society of Ostomates. So we're walking that journey with a lot of ostomates. So the word is ostomates, but the word is ostomy, but I'm an ostomate.
Yeah. So the word is ostomy, but you are an makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I try to educate wherever I go so that it doesn't become a, oh goodness, what is that? Or, you know, and I'm hearing a lot more people actually coming to the fore saying, actually, my mom has this, or my gran or my uncle had it, you know. So I actually am happy that more people are getting to know about it. You're finding people's, you know, hikers or whoever, somebody at work would send me a screenshot of, oh my goodness, Discam, you know, delivers these bags. I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I wanted, you know. So people are getting au fait with what an ostomate is. I'm happy.
Can I just ask, I guess, because we brought the financial implications to the conversation. If you could maybe just give a breakdown of the living expenses of an ostomate.
So it is quite difficult to break it down. However, I'll say this to you. So you do get assessed by a stomal therapist. So you do see a specialist who will assess you, and that obviously assessment happens, you know, we say every 3 months or every 6 months at least. Just by seeing that person, it ranges between 250 to about 400 rand. And then obviously for the bags themselves, it's not only the bags, there's you know, what we call accessories or what others call accessories, but I believe they're necessities, right? Because you do know, so it's the bags, it's the tapes that make sure that the bag actually sticks to you, to your person, and then there's sprays as well, because I mean, if it's elastic, if it sticks to you, you can't just remove it, right? It will mess up with your skin. So there's adhesive removers that you have to. So if you look at that, I mean, roughly for me, as I said, it's about 12 grand, but one can do with about 5 grand per month, depending on how many bags, because I think I'm just, I'm pedantic like that. I want more than, I don't want to know that I may struggle tomorrow. So, you know, as I said, I've got medical aid, so I do have that luxury of increasing my medical aid to make sure that I've got over supply, where there's incidents. Hey, so I receive about 60 per month. Because I want to be able to change 3 times if I want to. There is accidents where you try to place, a bag, and then as you're doing that, you have diarrhea. So you obviously can't continue putting that bag now. You have to now change it, and you know, so it's a lot. And then obviously there's gloves that you use. I use gloves. Some people prefer washing their hands. I still prefer gloves and then washing my hands. There is wet wipes that we use as well. So you can imagine all that. Yeah, I would say about roughly anything from 5,000 to about 7,000 per month for, per person. But it depends on the types of bags that you use, because there's open bags and there's closed bags. So open bags is a bag that you can actually release body waste and then open it up, flush out whatever is in there, and then close it up again. Then you continue, you reuse it. There's closed bags where you can, immediately when it fills up, you throw it away. Right. So I want the flexibility. If I'm outside, I need to be able to, because I don't have the luxury of a toilet anyway. I need to be able to flush out and then go. But on a regular basis, I use closed bags. I think those are more preferred. But yeah, the more luxurious they get, the more expensive they get. So yeah.
Man, as you're speaking now, I'm just having a reflection moment, and I'm here saying to myself, and I said I'm not gonna cry, but I'm not. I keep saying at the back of my head, I'm having this conversation of I'm looking at the face of hope, and I'm not sure if that's how you describe myself, but that's what I see. I've learned with time that hope is part of the choices that we make in life. And so yes.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest with you. The reason why I decided to go out was purely from the aspect of, surely I can't be alone, and I can't struggle alone, right? There's so many other people that struggled, and I know I need support. So my family can support me to a certain point, but they're not ostomates, right? So they don't know what I'm going through, and I need somebody who's an ostomate. And I suppose that's why I went out. I used to obviously have conversations with overseas people. They're more out there. They walk around with their bags out. I don't subscribe to that personally, but I needed a sense of community. I needed a sense of community, and that's why I partnered with this guy from Cape Town for South African Society of Ostomates. And we started creating a WhatsApp group. I mean, there was only 7 of us when we started. Now there's like over 70 people. And I was like, where have all these people been? And we find that people have been ostomates for like 17 years, 18 years, but they still struggle. And here they look at me like, oh my God, you're the face of hope. Exactly like you said, you're the face of hope. How did you do it? How do you remain calm and be okay? And I'm like, well, I go through and it's possibly because of the mountains that I hike that are always a strategy to say, I've done this. It's challenging now, but I know the summit is near. I'm going through a tough time now, but did I miss the trail somewhere? Let me go back. Let me find my feet again. Let me continue. It's like that mentality of, and I think that's what got me out of the cancer journey as well. A friend of mine calling me while I was on chemo and said, I saw you summiting, the biggest mountain in Africa. And I thought, not me. I'm dying, dude. I don't know if, and I was like, hello, I don't know if you're with me, but I'm dying. Like, how do we have this conversation around hiking? But that helped. It helped a lot, Yeah.
Take me through. We can't conclude without. I have 2 more questions for you, and then we wrap it up.
Yeah.
Brief. How was summiting Kilimanjaro? Because a lot of people that go on Kili, they'll tell you there's a point where I felt like, now it's over, it's done. And then here we have an ostomate, somebody who's supposed to be living their life with so much caution, but no, not Lerato. Like, which one is the highest mountain? I'm going for that one.
Yeah, I'm going that for right. And you know what? It was quite, and I must give kudos to G2G, the guys that took me up to Kili, right? And I'll tell you a story about them. But look, I looked at myself and I thought, but why not? Why not? If I don't make it, I don't make it, right? It's okay. People have tried to summit it and they didn't make it, and that's okay, right? Because I need to meet myself where I am, and I allowed myself that to say, but I must be honest with you. Knowing that you've got a foundation, you've released all this information, the weight on your shoulder is massive. It was massive. And obviously I have to push myself, but I said I will not get to a danger point where I feel I cannot do this, and I still feel let's push through. I told him straight out. I said, look, if I do say to you, time out, I really mean it. I've got a 13-year-old that I really need to look after, you know. It's only me and him. Yes, my family is there, but it's really only me and him. And yeah, I mean, you know, I took the Limosho route, very beautiful. I love scenic. So anything that I do must have, because I love pictures. Anything that I do must have pictures, must have beautiful landscapes, you know. So I took the Limosho route. They call it an easier route, but listen, this is Kilimanjaro. I don't think there's any easier route of climbing this thing. Yeah.
No, no. The build up to the
yeah. It was raining. I remember climbing a rock face. It was just wet, wet, wet. I was wet. I was horrified. And this guy was telling me, listen, you have to get out of your clothes because hypothermia, what. But I think the real deal, you know, all the other days is actually beautiful. The real deal is on summit night. And I think on summit night, I really prayed to God. And, you know, I had a flag with me, my SkirtGirl Hiker Foundation flag with, you know, Joshua 1:9 to say, I've got this courage, man. I've got the strength. I can do this. And I remember just the guys telling me, Lerato, you're the hiker. You know, just put on that mindset. You trust in God. Put on that mindset, girl, and you got this, you know. And as I hiked, look, it's tough. It's cold. You know, I'm a coffee lover. So I told them right out, we will have a flask and we will have coffee all the way up. I was really hoping to summit much later in the afternoon, but I actually made it around, you know, I think it was around 8:30 in the morning. We start climbing around 12 o'clock at night, which is insane. I think I've done that with Mount Kenya, but this was different because this was more cold, right? And people never actually talk about that night. It's the most traumatic night ever, but it is the most beautiful after you've summited because you've done it. You know, so I won't scare you, but I'll tell you it's doable. Anyone who puts their mind to it can do it. You know, I would say a bit of fitness is required. Obviously, they'll train with you, but really, it's about altitude, mental strength as well. And yeah, look, I really pushed myself to definitely get there. Obviously, I don't want to come back now and say, hey guys, thank you for your, you know, for raising funds. Thank you for your funds. But hey, we didn't make it. I did not. I do not want to come back like that, you know. So
where was your
really? Hey,
where was your bag?
You mean my stomach bag?
Yes.
Oh, no, it's on me. Like I can't remove it. This bag stays with me. So I have multiple bags. So I change bags on the way, right? So I have to change bags on the way. It's just normal. It's like a person going to the toilet and changing their bags and all that. So it's exactly the same with me. But on a regular basis, I have to change bags. So that was manageable. I think the traumatic part, and this is the critical part for me. I remember Albert calling me the night before I came through, and he could hear that I was, you know, panicked out. I'm leaving my family. I'm coming all alone to, you know, Tanzania. And he called me. He said to me, Lerato, I've really asked you about you being a cancer patient and you being an ostomy, but I never really asked you how you change your bag. And I didn't do that. And I wanted to tell you that as your guide, I have gone to YouTube and I've gone to learn how to change it. Dude, for me, that was like, no, I'm in the right hands here. You know, like I don't require you to change my bag and now, you know, just I don't require you to do that. But you having gone the extra mile to do that for me, that showed like it's service. And I'm passionate about service. And this guy showed me service holistically. He didn't care about any feces or fecal matter or whatever. But I asked him, why did you have to do that? And he said, because up there, when you climb, it is quite cold. And you always have 2 gloves. I don't expect you, because you don't know this climate, I don't expect you to take out your gloves and then start changing your bag. I want to do that for you. he didn't have to do that, but gee man, you know, that sold it for me. For me, that was like, God, the people you have placed in my path, I really thank you. You know,
Yes.
and if somebody can do that for me, why can't I do it for somebody else? And that's why I'm
Sure.
still here doing what I do, you know, being passionate about what it is that I do. Yeah, and I go to, you know, government hospitals just talking about being an ostomate and how to be an ostomate, how to mentally, you know, overcome it and say, actually, you and me, Bunolo, we are exactly the same. I just poop differently. And so what?
That's it.
That's it.
What's poop anyway? So, but
Exactly.
we have to have the conversation, and you know, I wish we could just keep going on and on because this is lovely. I have a question of fears. What were your fears during the entire process? I mean, the the process of climbing Kili, but also that of the news that you have, you know, been diagnosed with this condition. What were your fears?
My fears were always that I'll die prematurely, because I feel if I don't make it and I haven't touched a life, have I really lived? You know, have I really lived? Because I want to be able to see my son grow, but I don't believe he's the only one that I need to look after. I believe there's so much more that I still need to do. But of course, I mean, like any other person, you feel, oh my goodness, you know, we've got stories about, as I said, Kolani Gwala passed away, this guy passed away. You definitely fear that. Look, it doesn't mean that I don't trust in God, you know. I hold on to that faith, right? I hold on to that with everything in me. But reality strikes now and then, and you have to remind reality who's God. You know? So that's it. But the fears are there. And I always say, especially in corporate, I'm like, speak your truth. Doesn't matter whether you shake or not, speak your truth. You know? And there's this thing about imposter syndrome. That's another fear. You know, that me, who am I? Can I really do this? No. But like, why me? Why not somebody else who's great and all that? But why not me? You know, why not me? And that's another fear, right? The imposter syndrome comes to you like a flood, but you kind of have to say, my time now. You know, so those are some of the fears that I've faced. And I mean, it's human. You know, it's just how far you take that fear along the journey. But you just have to tell the fear, look, there's no room for us here. You know, it's me and me alone. You know.
Yes, I love it. What are, in closing, what are the things that you're doing now? What the things that you do differently now? And then perhaps if you could just leave a message for anyone who's come out of a traumatic situation or anything that caused a life-changing, called for a life-changing experience.
I think what I do differently now is I meet myself where I am. I was just not that person that accepted, you know, that I'm down, right? I do accept where I am, and I'm more kinder to myself. I'm very hard with myself because I'm like, listen, you only have so much time left in life. You know, you're a cancer patient, so this thing may come back. I'm like, yeah, it's not coming back. But you know, I live by that. Like, accept where you are, because and just be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself, because when you come out of that, you come out more stronger. And now with the hiking, I do it more rigorously. I'm like out there, and sometimes I don't even post it anymore, you know. But I just do it because there's so much more refreshing that I need to, you know, fill myself and just and live life to the fullest, right? For people that are going through the journey, please reach out to me as a start. But know that today is today. Meet today where it is. Don't take tomorrow, you know, today's problem into tomorrow. Just let it go. And then tomorrow you start a new day and say, I'm going to fight again. because you need to do that. Otherwise, you carry yesterday's problems into today. You have other problems, you carry them. It's a mountain. You need to leave, like, when you step on, it's 1 foot at a time. You leave those rocks behind and all that. That's what I've learned, that it's 1 foot at a time. Be kind to yourself. Take the hiking mentality, in 1 foot in front of the other, and you'll definitely get there. Right? But I also want to read something that oh no, I can't, because it's on this phone. Read something, but it's fine.
No, you can short it, and then we can attach it to the comment section.
Perfect. Yeah, but yeah, I think people must just be kind. Thank you so much. I invite more people to come hiking, please, because there's so much negativity that you leave behind. There's so much refreshing that you get, and come see God's beauty. Sure. This creation is all out there for us. You know what I mean? And I want to read something that I never do this, but Joshua 1:3 says, every place that your sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given it unto you. Guys, we've got this world to see. So, don't say, oh, I don't have this, I can't do this. There's so much. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for making the time to come and share with us your beautiful story. What I wanted to say is that one of the wonders of God's works, I'm looking at it right here, and extend our love to your family and to your beautiful son, and tell him thank you for sharing himself with us.
Thank you so much.
I'm very proud of him for having kept you company throughout this journey. It wasn't easy, but you guys did it, and it goes to show just how powerful your team is. I love you, Lerato.
So much. I love you more, and I can't wait to just give you a hug. Cheers. Really appreciate you. I appreciate you so much.
It's a 16
Keep well.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.